The pressure gauge allows you to understand what pressure. Makes about 2 smallish cups per coffee. When the first coffee comes out, we close it again. That is about as good as you can get. G'day guys, right here, your coffee coach. I'm going to talk to you about the Bellman cappuccino maker, or the CX25P. The reason I love this machine so much is because it's technically not a camping coffee machine, although I do take it camping when I don't have electricity, because it does make just absolutely gorgeous espresso. You can replace your espresso machine at home, or just have this if you don't want to get into one of the $1,000 ones. These guys make awesome coffee, really easy to learn, hard to master. I'm going to show you some tricks, and I'll give you a shout out to 550 Stanley, who I just stumbled on a couple of years ago, and he makes the best cappuccino that I've seen on here on the Bellman. And so I took a lot of advice from him, and this is what I'm going to show you now. It's a really simple device. The reason I like this particular, the CX25P, is because it has the pressure gauge. It also has a steam wand. The pressure gauge allows you to understand what pressure. You don't want to over extract coffee, you don't want to under extract coffee. I think it's really easy with stovetop espresso machines to over extract. So the pressure gauge gives you that help. You got your coffee portafilter here. You do have a device that you can pop in to make it smaller or larger, depending. I don't use that. I really don't like it. It's very simple design. Coffee, the water goes in the bottom, it boils up through the top, comes out the spout here. You control the release with this, watching the pressure gauge, and then you just steam your milk straight afterwards. Makes about 2 smallish cups per coffee, but really, I think it makes a brilliant one. Now, one of the tricks is don't try and boil the water on the stove in the Bellman Stovetop. Because the steel is so thick, it's great, robust, it just takes forever to boil your water. So if you're at home, get a kettle. I'm using the jet boil here, and I'm just going to quickly boil the water. I like to grind it as fine as espresso. It's a bit windy today, so it's not great. Fill it up. You can tamp it down. I don't like to tamp it, but I do like to get one of the paper filters that is designed specifically for it. So it has a little hole in the middle, and pop that in there. You can wet it as well, but that just sits on top. And like I said, I don't use any other thing that goes on the top. I just pop that in there. All right, so now it's boiling. Okay, so I'm gonna fill it up to the 9 cup line. It's not actually 9 cups. I don't know why they call it 9 cups. No, actually there. But it's about 1 litre of water. And this is probably one of the downsides with the Bellman, is that it doesn't have much capacity to make multiple coffees. You're really only going to make 1 or 2. We want to turn the valve so it's closed. Close that. Now we're watching this pressure gauge. When it gets to about 1, that's where we're going to release the espresso, and we're going to start just getting a little bit of espresso out so it doesn't spurt. Hard to do it in the wind, hard to do it in the wind. There we go, so now a bit of coffee's coming out. When the first coffee comes out, we close it again, and now I want to wait until it gets to about 1.5 bars. So now we're at 1.5 bars. Can release this, and should get a fairly even extraction there. So see how there's no spurting? I mean, there's not much crema on this guy. Now you get about 2 full cups out of that. I'm gonna just pour that into there. You can keep going. I don't want to drink the rest of the stuff because it gets quite, although it's not looking nicer here. But yeah, you don't want to drink all the coffee, but see where it gets spurty like that. It's obviously over extracting there. You can keep the heat back on, and then you keep using that because the pressure will keep growing, and we'll get enough to do some milk. Okay, so once we have up to 2.5 bars, we can start to steam the milk. And it does froth up a little bit quickly, but just drop it down. I keep the heat going as well because that just helps keep the pressure up. If you drop the heat off while you're steaming milk, you won't be able to steam. And there we go. Hard to do it in the wind, but there you go. A delicious latte. I mean, that is about as good as you can get if you even have a regular little coffee machine at home. And that does it. The downsides are that it takes a long time. You really want a powerful burner underneath. The Camp Masters with the little Bunsen burner type flames, not super powerful, so you do have to wait, and that's one of the biggest issues. But if you've got patience to get a really good result, this is brilliant. You can make 2 coffees out of this. I also would recommend getting a tray to put over your burner because the guy is a little bit small and just a little bit unbalanced if you don't have something to put underneath it. So I would get something like a piece of gauze of this tray, anything, or if you have another little part to your burner at home, do that. But that is the Bellman cappuccino maker, the CX25P, a brilliant device, alternative to any other espresso machine, and great for camping as well. I'm Ryan, your coffee coach, and as always, enjoy your brew.